Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome tonight's guest. He is a former WWE superstar. He was the winner of the $1 Million Tough Enough Challenge. And now he's changing lives with My Life, My Power. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming Daniel Puder.
Hey, what's going on, brother? Thanks for having me on tonight.
Hey, man, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you on myself. Troy, who was the former voice of Deep South Wrestling down there, glad to have you on. You got a lot of going on right now. Tell us, I guess the big thing going right now, something me and Troy touched on real quick, CM Punk. Big name.
He's fighting in the UFC. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. What is going on? What is happening in this world?
That's funny. You've done MMA. You've done wrestling. What's the biggest transition? Yeah.
He's gonna get whoops. Are you kidding me? He throws a punch I can't even say like a girl because I've seen some tough girls. But he throws a punch like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my ex-girlfriend was a Marine and she would whoop this guy and she's not even a fighter.
So the Gracies can't do anything with him, you don't think?
Hey, Gracies can do a lot, man. They can make you run and make you sweat and show you how to throw a punch. But at the end of the day, it's not WWE. When you get hit in the face, you get kicked in the head for 3 5-minute rounds, or if he goes for a championship, 5 5-minute rounds. I'm telling you, the world changes. There's nothing like going into UFC. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, he's insane. He's I don't know what's wrong. There's a difference between badass and dumbass. A badass is an MMA fighter. A dumbass is somebody that rides a bull. He's like the guy that's riding the bull at this point.
I couldn't agree more with you. He complained, as I'm sure you know, about Ryback taking 20 years off his life because he threw a tater at him a time or two, or got a little stiff with him, and he wants to go in and get his face bashed in for.
Hey, let me tell you, Ryback, when I got on, we arm wrestled. Let me tell you, we were wrestling, actual wrestling in practice, and I made him feel like a little 10-year-old kid because I was rocking him. And then we arm wrestled, and I beat him in front of millions of people on SmackDown. And he has 50-inch arms, but he can't even arm wrestle a guy with 16-inch arms. So at the end of the day, curling those 95-pound dumbbells doesn't lead up to much if you're not that tough.
Right. Yeah. Agree.
Now, man, I want to talk about it. Yeah, we mentioned it in the intro there. You got involved in professional wrestling. You'd done amateur wrestling prior, done the MMA. What made you get involved with Tough Enough?
Hey, I actually tried out for Tough Enough too, and it wasn't the right timing. I had some other stuff going on. Went out to Colorado, I think it was, and did the whole spiel out there, and so when Tough Enough, Tough Enough came around, I said, I'm gonna try out for this one too. I'm good. I can take some time off college and this and that, and so I did, and I won. Mike Mizanin lost. He lost by fan votes. His people weren't supportive of him, and he lost. So I beat him, and that was that. It was good.
I got to work with him in Deep South, and I've said it on the show before. I watched him, and I know you've seen it as well. I watched him almost get fired every week, but that's neither here nor there. What was the experience? What you thought it would be for me in wrestling when I got to Deep South and really moved away from the Indies? It was more than I imagined, I guess, in some ways, and then in some not so much. And it was almost like going behind the scenes at Disney. I've seen this now. Now what? But what was that experience like for you? Was it what you thought it'd be, or no?
Hey, some of the boys are great, some of them aren't. At the end of the day, it's a very unique world. I was very blessed to be a part of OVW and WWE and just being with some of the great coaches we had and some not so great coaches. So it was a lot of fun. I had fun and I loved going back to MMA, and I loved both sports. Wrestling was entertaining and then the MMA fighting made me a legit, tough guy. So it's really great. Yeah, badass, exactly.
There you go. I'm getting right to it, man. I know you're sick of this question. I know you get sick of talking about it, but I got to ask for the listeners that haven't heard this. Everybody remembers you on SmackDown with the Kurt Angle incident. Tell us, walk us through that, leading up to that, and then really what went on backstage. What was that incident? How did that all play out?
Yeah, so what happened was we were running sprints and eating pasta and running more sprints, and then they were like, you're going out there, and then we did an up-down competition in the ring with Kurt, and then we just we started getting eliminated, and I was doing them perfect. If you rewatch that, my form was perfect. My speed was at the right speed as they wanted, and the other guys were getting all tired, so they were told, one of the wrestlers told, okay, get the blonde guy out, so they took me out instead of Chris Naraki, and then Chris got 3 of his ribs broken. And then I had to go in and show Kurt Angle who was boss. But, the interesting part was that, they said he pinned me, but if you look at the video that I just did with his ref, with the ref that saved his arm and his life and his career, the ref that saved his humility, his just value in life from some little punk, tough enough guy breaking his arm off, was saved. And I just did a video with him, and you guys got to go to YouTube and check it out, because the ref admits that he saved his arm, that he saved his life, and that he really cheated because he didn't want Kurt Angle to get his arm taken home in a shopping cart that I was pushing.
Fans, please go check that out, and I'm going to as soon as we hang up here. So what happened backstage then?
Backstage, I went back there, and nobody really knew what was going on. They didn't know what was happening. So it was just interesting to they didn't really know, which was crazy. Until it hit TV, and then everybody's like, "Holy smokes!" So that's why that we did the Tori Wilson sex test the next week, which is the 3rd week. I think Kurt was the 2nd week, or 3rd week, and the week after. Oh man, what girl was dating Kurt at the time? Holy smokes! Do you guys remember?
I don't.
Well, I'm
blanking.
I'm blanking.
Oh,
I'm getting hit. I got hit in the head for a living, you guys. I'm
yeah,
still
right.
here.
Google it.
Moolah and May came out with Tori Wilson, and Dawn Marie. Dawn Marie
okay.
went to my whole face. But what I didn't know is that in the back, something was going on between them. And so what was interesting is that she was pissed off at Kurt, so she was going to now tempt him with me. Oh, there's always this side politics stuff. So I didn't know what was going on, so I think he got more pissed off at me because now she's like making out with me on stage in front of millions of people. I'm like, what is going on? I don't know what's going on. Her tongue's down my throat. It's just nuts.
Wow. That's awesome.
So that's my story about how I not only stole Kurt Angle, but the best part is Kurt Angle married the girl next door. Guys, you gotta love this. He's an all-American, married the girl next door. He eats his Wheaties, won the Olympics. The problem is he lived next to a strip club, and so he married the stripper.
Now, when you got backstage, did Kurt approach you, or what did he say to you, or what did the office even say to you?
The office didn't. The office didn't know what to say. They were still shocked, I think, and so. Nobody knew what happened until like the week after, and
wow.
I don't even knew what to say.
Wow. So nothing from Kurt. Kurt didn't say a word.
Not at the time. I think he was a little upset though afterwards.
I'm sure.
You won Tough Enough. You went on down to Ohio Valley Wrestling, which was the developmental for WWE at that time. You spent some time there. What did you take away from your experience there?
A challenge. Going down, being the newbie, making a ton of money, and the other guys were all ticked off. So it was a challenging year because my car got peanut buttered and syruped. My you know, but at the end of the day, I was the one cashing the check, so I was walking home and I was like, who cares?
I'll pay somebody to wash it.
I actually did. I paid somebody to wash it, so it was a good time.
Yep.
And a lot of a lot of those guys that were, you know, that pulled some stunts, where are they today? They're not anywhere. They didn't build a relationship with me, you know. They were
right.
unique individuals with pain and anger and hurt in their lives, so they had to tank it out on me. Poor guys. Feel bad for them.
Yeah,
don't you?
Right. Is there anybody that oh, sorry, J-Mac, go ahead.
Go for it there, Troy.
Okay. Is there anybody that you wish you would have worked with in the business that you didn't? Or a few people, for that matter?
You know, I would have loved to work with Hulk Hogan. I met him, but I never got to work with him. And I would have loved to train with him. That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, of course.
Now, who do you wish you could have stepped toe-to-toe in the ring with?
You know, and Stephanie McMahon, I would have loved to work with her more. But she was already married, but she liked me. And Shane, I like Shane McMahon, but I would have liked to work with Stephanie a little more. Like, professionally, guys, get your head out of your gutter. What are you doing? Come on.
Yeah, sorry.
Now, who do you wish you could have laced the boots up against? Who was at that point either in Ohio Valley Wrestling or WWE or somebody from the old school days? Who do you wish you could have stood across the ring from?
You know what? I wouldn't even have to lace my boots up. I could have gone bootless. But the story is you know, I wish I would have gone against Vince, because he kind of stuck it to me. It's kind of like a knife in your liver. So you put Kurt Angle on him, or a Daniel Puder against Kurt Angle and try to snap his arm off. But you know, it's really not that tough. He's just all show, no go. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Now, unfortunately, you had got released from the contract. They didn't want to keep you on board. Did they call you?
Actually, they did want to keep me on board. They sent me 3 months before my year was up, because I was a 4-year deal, guaranteed 1 year. They sent me 3 months before a contract stating they wanted to pay me $50,000 instead of $250,000. So I didn't understand it. I thought they were like, oh, that's a fluke, because they accidentally did it. They shouldn't have done that. They had to wait till my contract was up. And what I could have done at that point is sue them, which I should have, but I didn't understand what happened. So it was very challenging. I have great lawyers now. I will sue anybody that, you know, screws with me. But, you know, at the end of the day, I care about people, and I just want to have peace and love in my life. So what was the question?
After those events took place, you were actually in a feud down there in Ohio Valley Wrestling with Johnny Jeter. You stuck around. You came back. You went toe-to-toe with Jeter. You tore the house down that night. The crowd responded to it. What made you stick around for that?
Hold on, I didn't tear any house down. Did somebody tell you I took a house out? The outhouse? Are you talking about the outhouse? The house.
The Davis Arena. The crowd absolutely loved you.
Sorry, back to the Davis Arena. Yeah. So I kicked her ass. So what's the point?
The crowd absolutely loved you. They enjoyed it. They looked forward to you coming out. Everybody had heard the news. I guess, why was it that you stuck around? Was it just because you're a man of your word?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I loved working with the WWE. I had great coaches down there. I really enjoyed the time. The challenge was, this is how I look at it, is if somebody treats you good and they reward you and they push you and they build you and there's respect level there, I'm willing to work harder than anybody else out there, harder and smarter. But if somebody fucks with me, I'm not going to deal with their dumb BS. I get the one thing that irks me in life is when you build a relationship and you help somebody else and then they stick it to you. I have a lot of friends around the country and world now, and I've built a good network. And it's not worth screwing up a relationship over anything anymore. And from what I've seen time and time over with guys like Vince McMahon and people that literally intently try to hurt other people and hurt their families, you know, yeah, you can pull a contract from me, but if I would have had a family and kids, that's a different point.
Oh.
You know, I gave up, you know, a lot to do what I did and a lot of time and effort and put my body, I went to the hospital a couple times in a year to really put my body on the line for his company and to help him make money. And then he turns around and you know, does it. So, you know, if I say I'm going to fall through and do something, I'll do it. Might take a little bit long because I'm always late everywhere because I got hit in the head and I forget all the time. But, you know, that's the deal.
One thing I did want to ask, that was at the time OVW was really hot. You had Paul Heyman in there. And if Heyman liked you and he saw something in you, he'd put you over. And that he built you up. He put you with the Riggs brothers, who was Team Puder. You had, like I said, you had quite the run. The crowd there absolutely loved you. I still, when I go around Louisville at times to OVW, I still see Puder shirts everywhere. What does that mean to you to have that left that legacy from the short time that you were in OVW and WWE? What does that mean to you?
You know what? It means something, but I'll tell you what means even more is you know, wrestling's one thing and entertaining and everything like that. But honestly, you know, working with, you know, what I do now, you know, it's great that people still like the entertainment aspect and like, you know, my wrestling and everything else and built a relationship with me. But, you know, our country is going down the tube from where it was. And, you know, anybody that says we live in the greatest country in the world, I want it to be. But, you know, we're number one in divorces, number one in prison inmates per capita. We're number 17 in education. We're 105 out of 160 countries in happiness.
Obesity, all those things. Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely nutty. So, you know, at the end of the day, with what I'm doing with my life, my power, and how we're changing lives and this and that, when kids don't even give a flying crap about it, you know, because they're buying brand new sneakers and a WWE, you know, belt, you know, at the end of the day, the value system has gone so entertainment and just, let's have quick fun. And we're $100 trillion in guaranteed long-term debt, and we're like almost $20 trillion in debt right now, dude. This generation that loves WWE stuff and everything else, it's awesome. You know, my shirts, everything else, it's fun. But if we go under, they go under it. Who cares about a belt? You know, we need to focus in on what really means something to our country and our world before we have the entertainment side. And yeah, we can have entertainment all day. But it's getting a little crazy, bro, and in this lifetime, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, we have much bigger issues to focus on, and let's get deeper into that. Now, after leaving the wrestling business, you founded My Life, My Power. Let's get a little bit deeper in that. Tell us all about that and what's going on with that and all that good stuff.
Yeah, you know, I mean, the idea is giving the life skills and wisdom and the ability for people to follow their dreams and live their dream instead of having to go to work and then on the weekends they go fishing, which I don't fish. I like to catch, by the way. Somebody said that they like sometimes, I don't know why people like to stand there with a pole. Yeah, exactly. You don't go shopping, you buy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's crazy. But at the end of the day, you know, we've developed a platform where, you know, we help not only stop bullying and drugs and gangs and this and that, but you know, at the end of the day, everyone wants a great life. Everyone wants to have fun. They don't want to have to look over their shoulder and wonder if they're going to get hurt, you know, whether it being white, black, brown, Asian, you name it. It doesn't matter. I want to help people around the world live their dreams every day, you know, go after what they love and be resourceful to figure out, you know, how to get there. And so we basically have a systematic approach, which is hope, plan, and friend. We help kids and adults, veterans. We just did a speaking today about how we help them create their dream, their hope in their life on where they want to go. But hope without a plan is crap. Hope without a plan is you're going to get some dreams and, okay, cool, I want to do that, but it's not going to say I am going to and I am doing. So it's a difference between a trier and a doer. And so with a plan, now you need to set it out, to game plan it, to task it, goal it, this and that. And then the challenge is running into challenges. Everybody has these issues and problems today. But if you're serious about becoming who you want to become, now you put together challenges and solutions. And through the challenges, you're going to have, you're going to need the part what we call friends, which are mentors, which are friends. And if you don't have the amount of wisdom to be able to understand how to get through these challenges, you're just going to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs saying, I could have been, when you could say, I am. And so I figured, why not give the ability to every kid to understand how to get from where they're at to where they want to go as fast as possible. And, kids, it's crazy. Kids, we're selling our program in the U.S. for a couple $100. In China, they're going to be selling it for $1,200.
Wow.
So at the end of the day, it's that value system on, no parent, every parent's going to buy their kid brand new, Jordans and this and that. And, hey, have the fun stuff. And
where's the important
future?
Yeah. Wow. That's very, very cool stuff, man. Very deep, and what is needed for the country and for the youth of America that is in trouble if something doesn't change. What you got, J-Mac?
You can check it out for more there. MyLifeMyPower.org. Check them out. There's a lot more there. If you have any questions, you can contact Daniel there. Check him out on Twitter @DanielPuder. Man, I know you're focusing away from it. You're more on this My Life, My Power. Do you think we'll see a return to either the octagon or the ring?
Yes, next year I'm coming back to the ring, guys. The squared circle.
Wow. Really?
Well.
Oh, you
cool.
This is the first announcement. I wanted to wait for you guys' show. I am coming back, and it is going to be, we'll have dates here in the next week or two, but I'm going to start wrestling again next year, and it is going to be big. It is going to be awesome, and it's not for Vince McMahon. It is not for TNA. It's not for Ring of Honor. I will let you know in 3 weeks who it is for.
Oh my God, I'm so excited, fans! You gotta tune in. Keep following Daniel. Keep following us because we will have it here first. Oh my God, Daniel, that is huge, and I can't wait. J-Mac, what about it, buddy? They heard it here first.
I'm glad I heard that. I'm glad I saved that question for the last thing, man.
Yeah.
Big news.
Right.
Glad you saved it for us as well.
Yeah.
You're gonna love my tag team partner too.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. When you guys see who this is, we're gonna be doing some promo photos next month. When you guys see this, I will launch it actually. I will send it to you guys and Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. First, I will send it to both you guys. But when we announce this, it's gonna be very interesting. The match is gonna be in March sometime. So it's gonna be pretty awesome, and it's gonna be in Houston, Texas.
Cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's huge. I'm looking forward to it, man. Do you have any, if you could send a message right now to all the listeners, what would you say to them?
You know what? Come out if you're in Houston. Go to mylifemypower.org. Register so I can let you know when it's going to be. We're also going to be doing one in Florida and California in 2015. So we're going to be doing a few matches. We're going to be airing it online also. But the great part is,
baby, come on. No,
what?
Sorry. I said you got to get the East Coast, baby. Come on.
Yeah, I am East Coast. What is Florida? Come on, guys. What's up?
There
come
you go.
to
Right. There you go.
It's warm. It's warm down there. Where are you guys at?
I'm in Columbia, South Carolina.
I want to go to South Carolina.
There you go.
I'm in Tennessee right now. I'm over by the Smoky Mountains right now.
Okay. Are they smoking?
With how cold it is right now and the humidity, yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They are, man.
So I would love to do. I'm going to be doing matches across the country, but my three that we're going to start first are Florida, Texas, and California. So I'd love to come there and do some. It's going to be very interesting on how we're doing it and who's doing it, but we're going to have a lot of fun and through it we're going to change a lot of lives and really, systematically get this country back on. I believe a tilt forward so we can help our youth, help our parents, and have some fun partying while we're at it.
I'd love to talk to you more about that offline later. That's very exciting, and we will bring this to the Carolinas, baby. I promise you that.
Yeah.
Daniel, man, thanks for joining us here. It's been an honor. I appreciate catching up with you. Wish you the best of luck with everything, like you said, mylifemypower.org. Look forward to the big announcement within the month. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing night, and thank you for having me on your show.
You too, buddy.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. You were a great guest. I had a blast. I know J-Mac did as well. Thank you so much, man.
Cool. Keep up the great work. Talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Yep. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one, the only, Daniel Puder. Stick around. We'll be right back.